if I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
Maybe someone's reacted to that news. I don't know, or maybe it just fell through.
No.
But it sounds to me that the move to fight Jake Paul has just maybe derailed the other fight. But I don't blame Canelo Alvarez, because financially, the bigger fight is Canelo-Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Because in that fight, you've got two big stars.
Yeah.
In the other fight, you've got two great fighters. And
Terence Crawford has responded to Canelo Alvarez following reports that their highly anticipated fight has been cancelled. What was initially shaping up to be one of the biggest boxing events has now crumbled, leaving fans feeling frustrated and disappointed. Early negotiations seemed promising, with Ring magazine reporting that both fighters had agreed on terms for a massive showdown in Nevada this fall. The fight had the potential to be historic, bringing together two of the most decorated and skilled champions in the sport. However, reports now suggest that the deal fell apart due to unresolved issues between both camps, and the planned Canelo Alvarez vs Terence Crawford fight is officially off. So, what caused this sudden collapse? While contractual disagreements may have played a part, a shocking twist has emerged. Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, is now being blamed for allegedly playing a major role in the fight's downfall. Social media is abuzz with criticism, with fans accusing Canelo of avoiding Crawford in favor of a potentially easier, more lucrative fight against Paul. Popular boxing commentator Pete Games took to X, formerly Twitter, to express his frustration, saying, "It's official, Canelo Alvarez ducked the number 1 pound 4 pound fighter, Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo is now the undisputed."
And Terence Crawford, who should be a big star, but the reality is isn't. He's just an unbelievable fighter. So listen, everything can change overnight, as you saw.
Yeah,
so don't rule out Canelo Crawford. But as I'm hearing, Canelo Jake Paul is done, and I get it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Mad old game. Eddie, always a pleasure, mate. Really appreciate the time.
Listen, buck up your ideas.
Biggest coward in boxing history, the biggest duck of all time. Many fans believe Canelo's rumored fight with Jake Paul could be the reason the Crawford bout fell apart. Instead of facing one of the greatest fighters of this generation, Canelo is being accused of opting for a less dangerous but more profitable fight against a social media star. One of the loudest critics of this decision is Turki Alos Sheikh, a financial mogul behind securing the Canelo vs Crawford fight. Alos Sheikh has voiced his strong disapproval of YouTubers like Jake Paul entering the world of professional boxing, fearing it compromises the sport's integrity. With tensions rising and fans divided, the aftermath of this failed super fight has left many questioning the current state of modern boxing. Will Crawford find another worthy opponent? Will Canelo address the backlash? And most importantly, is a fight with Jake Paul really on the horizon?
Confident are you, David, that you will fight the winner of Better Be a Bivol?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. To be honest, the only thing that I'm thinking about is that if Bivol wins this fight, like what they would have to do a rubber match, you know what I mean? And like I'm just like thinking, who am I to say that they can't fight another fight, because they fought two great fights. So that's basically the only thing I'm thinking of right now. But I would, if that's something like that would happen, I think I wouldn't fight until they get that done with, and then I would move into that fight after they have a trilogy. So that's really the only thing I'm thinking right now.
That would be a long break for you. Like, let's say conceivably they fight again October,
Some speculate that Canelo Alvarez's willingness to entertain a fight with Jake Paul contributed to the collapse of negotiations for his highly anticipated super middleweight showdown with Terence Crawford. Fans had hoped Canelo would face IBF title holder William Skull in a bid to reclaim his undisputed super middleweight status. That fight would have set up an epic battle between two future Hall of Famers for all four belts, which would have been far more meaningful than a spectacle featuring a YouTuber whose last victory came against a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. On X, formerly Twitter, Canelo Lesnar tweeted, "Do you honestly think Canelo would fight Jake Paul?" Although the exact reason for the cancellation of the Canelo vs Crawford fight remains unclear, many insiders suggest that a comment from Crawford about Teo Lopez may have ignited the dispute. It's reported that Canelo required TEO to be Crawford's next opponent before agreeing to face him. Meanwhile, speculation about a potential Canelo vs Jake Paul showdown continues to swirl, though no credible evidence has emerged to confirm serious negotiations. The shift in location of the Crawford fight from T-Mobile Arena to Allegiant Stadium added fuel to the fire. Would Canelo really consider fighting Paul? The idea of a four-division champion holding WBO, WBA, and WBC titles stepping into the ring with a YouTuber seems highly unlikely. Las Vegas, a city renowned for high-level boxing, may not embrace such a spectacle.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna rest and talk with my team. And like I say, everybody asking for everything, but and I always did. I always fight with everybody. You asking, so. But right now I'm in the position I can ask him to. So I'm in the position I can ask him to, and I can do whatever I want, and we'll see what happens next.
However, in today's digital age, even a hint of interest can turn into something real, often to the disappointment of fans. Many in the boxing community expressed frustration over the situation, with one fan saying, "Boxing is a joke sometimes," announcing fights prematurely with no signed paperwork.
Official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
This sentiment reflects the growing frustration with unfulfilled superfight announcements. Another fan summed up the disappointment: "They got us all hyped up, just to break our hearts in pieces." Fans were excited about the prospect of seeing undisputed champions from different weight classes clash, but that hope has now turned into frustration. Some believe contractual issues may have played a role in the cancellation. One fan tweeted, "Rumor has it, Canelo saw the fine print and realized the winner had to fight David Benavidez." Benavidez is known for his relentless pressure and aggressive style, and if a mandatory fight with him was included, it would have complicated negotiations further. Not everyone viewed the cancellation negatively, though. Some fans believe Crawford dodged a bullet. One user commented, "Crawford can't cut to 168. Taking that cash grab would have just tarnished his legacy." Many believe the risk of moving up 2 weight classes to fight an elite super middleweight like Canelo outweighed the reward, so staying in his natural weight class might be the better move for Crawford's legacy. For a brief moment, it seemed the fight would happen, but now the clash between these 2-4-pound legends seems unlikely. The exact reasons for the cancellation remain unclear, but the significant weight difference was a major factor. Meanwhile, David Benavidez, fresh off his title eliminator win against David Morrell, has entered the conversation. If Dmitry Bivol defeats Canelo in his next fight, it could reshape the division.
About is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat, and he was not. What he could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
To stay humble. Stay humble.
Which one for the office? Sorry, in the middle.
So I may do another exhibition this year.
Which one?
What do you think of that, Floyd?
I think Pacquiao, he chose a hell of a fighter. Shit, we got so many fighters at PBC, I thought he was with PBC.
Terence Crawford stands on the verge of cementing his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats, with a rare opportunity to become a 3-division undisputed champion. Achieving this would place him among the elite, confirming his dominance across multiple weight divisions. However, with Canelo Alvarez potentially out of the picture, Crawford faces a pivotal decision. Does he wait for Canelo, or does he focus on unification bouts against other champions? One possible opponent for Crawford could be Sebastian Fundora, a towering and unorthodox fighter who has already exchanged words with Crawford online.
Mayweather's mindset after being the first guy to beat Canelo Alvarez. Thoughts on a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I had people that stated that they feel like that Floyd Mayweather would essentially hate on the situation.
Hold me back. Hold me back. Eddie, hold me to a fight, Eddie. Eddie, you fucking stuff. Oh, you fuckers. He said, oh, you fuckers. Hold me.
A clash between these two would generate a lot of intrigue, testing Crawford against a physically imposing opponent. However, many believe Crawford's technical brilliance and elite counterpunching would make him the clear favorite in such a matchup. Despite Crawford's skills, debates persist over whether Canelo would risk suffering a third career defeat by facing him. Some argue Crawford's calculated approach gives him the edge, while others believe Canelo's power and experience could give him the upper hand. But is it fair to expect Crawford to move up 2 weight classes for the fight?
He went on the rant with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez and
boxeador mexicano.
Más
popular, pero sin causa.
Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
I mean, it's not a secret that that's a fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly, it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel.
While some argue Crawford's talent allows him to compete at higher weights, others worry it would put him at a disadvantage against naturally bigger fighters like Canelo. Meanwhile, David Benavidez remains a key figure in the equation. His relentless aggression, power, and volume punching have made him one of the most feared fighters in the super middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. If he secures undisputed status, it could force Canelo into a long-awaited showdown. With so many moving parts in the boxing landscape, fans are eagerly waiting to see what happens next. Will Crawford chase greatness with another elite fighter? Will Canelo accept the challenge? And will Benavidez continue to pressure Alvarez into a fight? One thing is certain, that
Bud Crawford shows once again why he's #1 pound for pound on many people's lists, including my own. I don't think it was going into this fight was a question of whether Bud was going to win this fight. It was a matter of, he's about 35. He's had a 13-month layoff. Usually things start to fighters start to look a little bit more ordinary when these circumstances start to present themselves. So we wanted to see if Crawford, how he was looking under the current circumstances, and if there was any signs of aging. I think Avanesian really, fought as good a fight as he can fight. Listen, this is a durable guy. He stays in your face. You can see why he upsets certain people, because he knows how to mentally stress you by and also physically stress you by staying in your face like that, cutting off the ring and forcing you to work when you don't want.
Terence Crawford spent nearly a year tirelessly pursuing a fight against Canelo Alvarez, determined to make history with one of the sport's biggest showdowns. Throughout the negotiations, both fighters remained in close contact with Saudi boxing executive Turki Al-Sheikh, key figure in organizing major boxing events. Al-Sheikh was one of the strongest advocates for the fight, believing it had the potential to be one of the most monumental in recent boxing history.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight.
With such high-profile backing, excitement grew as rumors suggested the deal was close to being finalized. An official announcement was expected during UFC 306 in September. The excitement reached a boiling point when Crawford and Alois Schick addressed the matchup on Instagram Live, further fueling speculation. Crawford, fresh off his impressive victory over Edgar Berlanga,
23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts, and the world said he was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights, and to tell you the truth,
seized the moment to publicly call out Canelo. Alois Schick responded enthusiastically, saying, "Yes, let's go, Canelo. Come on, we are ready." Crawford added, "You heard it from him, just put me in the game." Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing.
Bam, 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 hun, 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 bam! Gancho. Hun, 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 Digo. Eso. Eso. Eso.
For a brief moment, it seemed everything was falling into place, and fans worldwide began eagerly anticipating the showdown. However, things shifted when rumors about a potential Canelo versus Jake Paul fight started to circulate.
And he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing. It was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys.
The idea of the reigning unified super middleweight champion facing a YouTuber-turned-boxer, who has yet to score a legitimate win against a ranked fighter, was met with immediate skepticism and backlash. Many dismissed the idea as pure speculation, but as rumors continued to spread, the conversation turned more serious. Boxing purists were outraged at the thought of Canelo risking his legacy for a spectacle-driven event instead of a true test against Crawford.
I'm saying at once.
Right.
I'm saying I started at 135. I'm just saying, like, say if Canelo was the champion at 147 to go up 168.
Right in one jump.
Yeah, in one jump.
It's a big jump too. 21 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
Despite the backlash, the rumors persisted, and what initially seemed like a fantasy has now become a serious discussion in boxing circles. For now, the actual outcome of the fight takes a backseat to the frenzy of speculation surrounding it. What's remarkable is how much buzz has been generated purely from rumors, a testament to Jake Paul's undeniable talent for spectacle.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. I dropped. We'd be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove. You know, that's like a thing for me when I, you know, my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves. 'Cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and respond.
Boxing commentator Chai's The Adult weighed in on the potential matchup, stating that a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would far outweigh any bout involving Jake Paul. Chai's emphasized that Canelo needs a May opponent who poses no real risk to his record or reputation.
Oh, he's too big. He's a good night for Crawford. He's going to bed. All that stuff. Not so fast. Not so fast. Don't forget that the other guy is bringing something to the party too. And he's bringing the things that hopefully I just described to you guys in the best way I can. When it gets closer, we'll get more thorough with it. But right now, I think you know where I'm leaning. And I'll make it even clearer where I'm leaving. So there isn't a lot of suspense. I ain't going against Crawford. Okay? I do think he's that special guy. I think Canelo's special too. But I think Crawford's special in a little bit, even more so. Even more so. He hasn't learned how to lose yet. I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it. Okay? Good. You don't like it? Too bad.
I think that was a fair breakdown. I mean, listen, those ingredients you're touching on with the smaller man are the same ingredients you saw in Usyk. Abilities and ways to find a way to win.
I'd like to know what the weight's at in this fight, but has that been figured out yet? Probably not, because
no.
That to me is a variable.
And the real fight is Canelo versus Crawford. Canelo is the heavy favorite, but that's the fight everyone wants, he said.
Vegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stage Front VIP, being joined here with Teddy Atlas. Teddy, I got to get just right to it. Terence Crawford wanting to move up 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. You as a trainer, what's your insight on that? And I don't know, would you advise a fighter to move up 3 weight classes to fight someone like Canelo?
You got to remember, he's already moved up 3 weight classes. So now you're talking 6, if you add on 3. You know? Yeah, my math is different than yours, being that I've been in this business my whole life. So 6 is a lot. 6 weight classes. That's a lot. 3, you know, he had the skeleton for it. Does he have the skeleton to go up 6? I don't know that he does, but I know he's got this. I know he's got this. I know he's got the character, and I know he's got the mind. I know he has special gifts that...
He suggested that a fight with Jake Paul could actually generate more money than one with Crawford, despite its lack of credibility.
Why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, you know, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. You know, he's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just, you know, just like to, you know, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you know, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
That's the world we live in. What am I going to say? He remarked, acknowledging that Paul's polarizing image guarantees interest. Chai's noted that some fans even view Canelo as a superhero who could teach Jake Paul a long overdue lesson.
Of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know.
Said he wanted the fight, kind of downplayed it to a certain degree. But it wasn't that long ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, he was doing an appearance and he was asked about it and he didn't close the door on it. In the past, he sort of like closed the door on it. It was like, I'm not interested. He's like, listen, I'll talk to anybody and listen to what they have to say about the deal, any kind of deal. So in my mind, that sort of at least cracked open the door to have the conversation. Like he wasn't just saying, forget it, in terms of working with Turkey or anybody else. So I think that Canelo is a smart person in terms of his boxing, but also in terms of his business. And when he looks around at the landscape and he wants to make a huge amount of money, like all top fighters or any fighter for that matter, and he looks and sees, who can I fight where I can make the biggest score, in a big time fight? And I would say to you that in terms of at least American boxing, or in this side of the world, it's not like Tyson Fury.
Forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
A few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Meanwhile, MMA journalist Ariel Helwani addressed the speculation on the Ariel Helwani show, acknowledging the financial potential of a Canelo versus Jake Paul fight. While he didn't confirm the rumors, the possibility of such a fight sparked heated debate in the boxing community.
Can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
Payday. I'm the face of boxing.
Crawford wanted a payday, but Crawford didn't do good at 54. When I talk to people, they all tell me you would have knocked him out at 68.
Well, he knows now. He experimented 154, and he knows. Maybe he do in 168 for a big check.
My last thing, Canelo, you just donated $70 million to build. You donated $70 million to build a center for kids with special needs in Mexico. Tell me about why did you do that?
I always try to help people. Why? And I don't like to respond this kind of thing because I don't like to put myself like I help. I help from the bottom of my heart.
It was very nice.
Enrique, that'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo, 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he's still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Some argue it would damage Canelo's legacy, while others see it as a low-risk, high-reward business decision. The speculation continues, but one thing is certain: Jake Paul has managed to keep himself in the conversation, ensuring that his name remains relevant in the world of boxing. Whether fans approve or not, his ability to stir controversy guarantees his place in the sport.